Thanks a lot, Katarina. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my webinar, broadcasted live from Mexico City. Today is Thursday, April the 13th, 2017. Local time, 2 a.m., 10 minutes past the hour. GMT time, 7 a.m., 10 minutes past the hour. This is me, myself. This on my social media so far. This is my YouTube channel, and this is my Google Plus account, in any case you would like to check it out. And I see we have some comments from the very beginning. FX Lord Eyes, good morning. iiivb, long time no see. In fact, my friend, good to see you here. Good to see you back. AAA rated. FX Lord Eyes, Katarina. AAA rated, asking for what the music was that. Well, I just posted the link. You mean the one that I posted? AAA rated? That seems like the 80s. Well, guys and girls, this is, okay. Well, yes, you know that now it's more than obvious that we're having flashbacks to the 80s. During, I believe, the last 5 to 10 years, it was like an insinuation to a flashback, but now it's the same music in the 80s, but remastered if you want. Yeah, that's why maybe it sounds like 80s. But I was raised listening to this kind of music, so that is why it's familiar to me. FX Lord Eye, sorry, it's very hard for me to digest music newer than 90s, rarely, and mainly rock bands that come from the past, actually. And I was born in the 90s. Me too. Well, yes, I have experience in the 90s. Actually, I was raised with 80s music because of my sister that is older than me. And of course, when I was a little kid, she was kind of a teenager, so that's why I get that familiar. But yes, I was born in the 79, so in the 80s I have 11 years. So yeah, it's more the 90s my decade than the 80s. So I believe that this is going to be, in fact, a short webinar, and I believe that you can anticipate why. This is the Eastern dates. So liquidity overall today and tomorrow is going to be very, very thin. So anything that you see today and tomorrow, maybe just don't take for granted. It's not real. What you can see today and tomorrow, you can see a lot of volatility, you can see a lot of stuff. You have tensions in the Korean Peninsula, some speculations that we're going to have a nuclear test by North Korea these days. So everything is combining in a very potential volatile cocktail. So yeah, my recommendation is that if you are not inside an already profitable trade, that you can lock in profits, just to maybe skip opening any trades today and tomorrow, and even on Monday, because Monday will be like the day that the markets are going to have full liquidity. This week is we have had lower liquidity because of these dates, Eastern week. So yeah, maybe Monday will be the day that I will be analyzing stuff for the rest of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, etc. Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. So what we're going to do today is just to see how the dollar yen has been performing. We had some comments by Donald Trump that altered the market, and the response was really wild. So we're going to check what was that about, and to try to anticipate if there is any potential opportunity so far. So what I'm just going to tell you quickly, in any case that you're interested, this is the euro pound 4 hours. We just made this test of this support at a psychological 0.85. So yes, this could mean maybe a buying opportunity if you decide to think so. We just touched this price, so yes, it could look like a good maybe opportunity. But again, if you're going to trade any opportunity here to the upside or downside, just be sure to have a very tight stop loss, because it simply doesn't worth the risk to, for example, if you open a long trade and you decide to use a super wide stop loss, it just doesn't worth the risk, because we could have a spike to the downside due to anything. I mean, if you have, again, this kind of comments by Donald Trump today, the response should be even bigger than yesterday. And if I'm not wrong, on Friday, I don't know tomorrow, I don't know if actually we're going to have the markets officially open, because in some places banks don't open. So liquidity should be like, price action should be like in after Christmas or after New Year, barely moving. So you need to check that out. So that is why I am only saying this to you. This day, tomorrow, maybe just skip the trade. Maybe on Monday, for sure on Tuesday we're going to find a lot of stuff. Overall, after, if it's real that we're going to have a nuclear test by North Korea, and then we will see exactly the intentions of Donald Trump, on this test to see the reaction. So after that, the markets will be readier to maybe take some kind of risks, in any case that they consider that we're not in the brink of a regional war. We have some more comments here. FX Lord Eyes, also Easter holidays in EU and US. AAA rated says Easter X. FX Lord Eyes, I will analyze the empty bottles on Monday. It's basically the supply demand for the rest of the trip. Yes, I agree with that. And yes, AAA rated is. I meant North Korea. I don't know if I said something wrong. I was talking about North Korea and a potential nuclear test. I have some kind of speculations what could happen after. But today we have a very curious thing. A supposedly major news in North Korea was going to happen some hours ago, and it happened, and it was an inauguration of a new highway. But I believe that the importance of that is the symbolism of that. I believe that what this guy is saying is that he really wants to negotiate, to open a new path. You see? A new way. Maybe I am wrong, but this is what I've been telling in these latest days, that I believe that I said yesterday, in the next days, I wouldn't be surprised to see North Korea approaching to China to get a deal, to try to find a deal, because actually is the best thing that North Korea could do. They could sell very expensively the nuclear program in exchange a lot of stuff. So yeah, it would be the intelligent thing to do with this leader is just to use this card to have an exchange of something to quit the nuclear program. I don't know if I am reading wrongly these things, but it's not new. It wouldn't be new that among leaders, at times they send each other cryptic messages on this kind of stuff. So I don't know if this has something to do with a new way, or maybe not. So that is the only thing on North Korea. I don't think that they will dare to make a nuclear test. because of this gesture just some hours ago, but who knows? I mean, if they want to test one again, that shouldn't be considered an act of war, because that wouldn't be an act of war. But well, apparently this move by Donald Trump to put pressure on this guy is having effects. So let's see what happens. That's all about North Korea. About Syria, well, apparently things are going to are gradually getting calmer. I mean, the rhetoric is very aggressive, etc. But the real thing, I mean, there is something that I admire of Vladimir Putin is that he is so elegant when we come to choosing words to transmit the exact meaning he wants. So the rhetoric, that it's of course way more evolved than Donald Trump's, is clear that Russia is not interested in engaging in something bigger. And he uses very neatly the language to say that. So I believe that tensions will be gradually losing its grip, and markets will tend to come back to normality on Monday, Tuesday. But of course, everything can happen. When you have a way too much pressured leader, at times that causes fear, and you know that fear makes people do stupid things. Let's hope that that won't happen. Here it says, FX Lord Eyes, next week we should see debt markets, ups and downs. I don't expect any major swings. BOs, breakouts, okay. Well, I believe that maybe next week is going to be a very active one. That is my opinion, because markets will try to keep up and adjust all the mess after the Syrian stuff, North Korea, and after yesterday's Trump's words. So I believe that maybe next week could be a good week in volatility terms. But again, we need to see what happens. We have nothing for sure. You could be right, of course. So we need to see how the market is built, the price action since the Monday first hour. So welcome, Rocas. Welcome to the webinar. So this is how Euro Pound is holding now. I have a very small trade to the upside, opened at 0.85, targeting more or less, if I'm not wrong, 0.8520, and stop loss just here. I mean, it's a very small trade. I am not interested in engaging into something bigger here because of the Eastern stuff. So I just said, okay, apparently this is having good looks. Here is when Donald Trump's words on the dollar is getting too strong because I am so good and people trust me, and that is why dollar is gaining momentum. That is not the case, or well, partially it could be the case. I believe that where you can see that is in the stock markets, not in the currency markets. But well, this guy wants to believe that and a strengthening dollar is because of him. But of course, it's way more complicated, and he knows it. But well, as a propaganda guy, he knows how to sell his image. Never forget that. He's always in a popularity contest. He believes that he's in a popularity contest, and he loves and wants to be popular and to feel popular. So that's something about his personality, I believe. But in the bottom line, I am sure that he understands the dollar is not strengthening because of him. But it only took those words and saying that he's not going to label China a currency manipulator, of course, because after this first talk, he realized that the Chinese leader is not stupid, that the Chinese leader is interested in having good deals also. So maybe he found a uneven uneven in these negotiation tactics. It's a different style, but I believe that the Chinese president is good at that. So maybe even they got along together uh, when the Chinese president was in the United States, and of course maybe they try to sketch some future in the commercial relationship, military relationship, and maybe they just had a good beginning. So now that Donald Trump with saying we're not going to label China as a currency manipulator means that things are going to be more or less the same. So this contradicts what he said, what he thinks. If after saying that you have a sell-off in dollar, it's only counter-resting the fears of people that got into the USD safe haven, thinking that maybe we could enter into a trade war between US and China. So people ran to USD. But that was the reason for dollar strengthening, besides the Fed, besides the good fundamentals, etc. But the evidence, after he's saying that in you having a dollar selling off, it's reflecting how influenced was this rally, USD rally, to that fear of maybe a commercial war. So it's not because they trust, actually it's the complete opposite. It's because the markets distrust him at some point, that they didn't know what to expect in the Chinese-American relationship. That is what I believe. So after having Donald Trump saying that, we have a very, very good sell-off. Let me see. Okay, this is the euro pound. This is everything that I have to say on this trade. I mean, I am just taking a chance here. I believe that the market, in any case, it touches again here and maybe it goes up. I really don't care. If it touches this level, I will be stopped out and I won't be chasing the price. I am considering that it was more or less a one-to-one risk reward at the moment I open it. So yeah, I will just stop supervising that. I'm not interested in watching this closely, just taking, I mean, when you are in the trading world at times, I dislike trading euro pound. But when you are checking other charts and you see this kind of stuff in the 4 hour, you see this kind of configuration, maybe you just decide to take the chance, okay? After Donald Trump, this trade had a bullish rally, now retraced a little bit. So let's see what happens, okay? Let me show you my yesterday's blog post precisely on this. Euro pound 4 hour broadening rising wedge. This is it. And this is where we're standing now. This is the support. So we had a breakout, or suppose could be considered breakout, at a psychological level. So the most likely thing is that this could work as a fake breakout. So here it says, after POTUS comments, USD lost territory and a cross-currency opportunity could be in early stages of development here in the euro pound. Euro pound just retested support of this chartist figure along with the psychological 0.85. Eastern low liquidity could be trade current opportunities aside from the still uncertain geopolitical situation. So this is what I just explained some minutes ago. Even though you find good trading opportunities today and tomorrow, they could evaporate quickly with no reason. Maybe you didn't even have a geostrategic risk or something. Simply the volatility could turn to be high. The erraticness, because of the low liquidity. Okay, so this is only how I explain it. I drew these trading boxes, but don't take these trading boxes very seriously, because according to this, more or less tomorrow or on Monday, if we're not able to get above this level, we could face a sell-off. But again, at this moment, it's very relative. We need to see what happens under normal liquidity. So this is just a reference, okay? Quickly reviewing what has happened. This is the same euro pound for our chart. A closer look. This is the support. As you can see here, we have this support, this trend line support, psychological support, and we're having this this latest price action. As you see, the moment the market retested this resistance, started moving down. So this is like logical. That is why I'm not having broader stop losses, because in any case, this is a selling opportunity. This could go further below, and if we have a lot of volatility and low liquidity, this could go 50 pip, 30 pip to the downside in 48 hours, even if we are in Eastern liquidity. So yeah, in this occasion, I am playing this. Either I am right or I am out. So yeah. So in any case that you decide to take this kind of risk, just don't try to play with fire, okay? So let me check if we have some news on Euro Pound. Well, it's getting closer now to the stop loss. So I believe that trade's going to be stopped out. Thing that I am not really worried about, because I am not trying to open again any trade on that cross. So let's review quickly how the dollar yen is doing now. This is the April 5th post. Well, this price boxes that I explained, the market sold off at the edge of this price box, and it continued selling off. This is the sell-off after Donald Trump's words. So here,
it worked.
I was considering maybe opening a trade.
Thank you so
because
much.
I started seeing some charts, some price action that was kind of indicating the market was preparing a retest maybe to the 110 or 110.50, something like that. And then suddenly it came this. So see the potential of this. I mean, we had like a sell-off of 75, 70 pip very quickly, but now the market recovered nicely at a psychological level. In a broader view, I was saying that I was expecting that if there were going to if it was going to be demand in a place, was going to be here. So we are 100 pip below. So yeah, this could change completely the outlook for the next month on dollar yen. Again, this is happening under very specific circumstances, use strategic risks, and low liquidity. So we need to see next week if the market makes it, but overall how it makes it, if it makes it to the 110, how it moves, the volumes, etc. in the lower time frames, how it looks like. And well, that is it for this chart. This is the same in April 11. 2 days ago, I was saying that we have here a potential double bottom. At the moment of the post, it was here. Then maybe this could become a triple bottom and then move to the upside, and this selling off happens. So yeah, this double bottom is ruled out already. So yeah, that is why we need to consider maybe switching gears on, at least my view, in dollar yen. Maybe this is indicating us that it's time to maybe rethink that the move is not going to continue to the upside. Unfortunately, we need to wait to confirm if this sell-off is due to the use strategic and we have things calming down as they are gradually getting in, maybe except of North Korea. But I believe that North Korea It depends on the nuclear test. But if all this happened because of that, maybe even if it's 100 people already below the 110, this could simply move up again. But of course, it would be very much more difficult to move the price from these levels to consolidate, let's say, by this zone, because we're going to have a lot of resistance here in the 110, maybe to have a retest here, maybe to move again here, then we have this resistance, maybe a movement to the downside and then an upside, then we have this resistance, maybe to the downside. So we could spend 1 or 2 months to make consolidate dollar yen in this region. So only considering normal price action, of course, if you factor in that a surprise in the fundamental news, etc., this could accelerate it to either direction. But I think that let's say in a normal, steady, organized way, moving the price from here to consolidate here would take a lot of time because this is the 4-hour chart. So we have like this line of resistance first that meets this psychological, then the risks of having a retest low or lower or even lower here, and then to maybe retest again here to have maybe a smaller then sell-off, then try to get to the 112. But before the 112, we have a huge resistance here. Remember that these candles were happened in a price box, was confirmed here. So I was saying that anything that happens at 111.5 was going to be very important. So the market could have here again a movement to the downside and then to the upside, and then so it would take a lot of time to consolidate here. So we need to see what happens. If next week is going to be emotionally driven, of course we could have a straight movement to the upside. That is what it's probable to happen, because maybe I am expecting that this weekend we're going to have the first signals that North Korea will approach to China, okay? And that would cool off a lot of things in that region. But we need to wait and see what happens. Well, this is the same euro-pound for our chart. And let me see if I can show you something interesting. Well, this is the here it is. So this is my trade. This is what I was talking about. My trade has the stop loss here and my take profit here. So yeah, I'm not even thinking maybe to move this lower, because I could move it lower, and it could go lower. So yeah, this was like the if it's going to be right, it needs to be right almost immediately. Now we're retesting these two zones, so I see chances that the market will try to at least reach this level again, and with some luck to retest this high by the next 48 hours. So what else? Let me see the dollar yen. This is dollar yen 1 hour. This is the sell-off after Donald Trump's words from what I was saying, more or less the 109.75 to the 108.75, more or less 100 pip. We have this retracement. We already have this channel down 75% in the hourlies, and the price meeting this moving average. So yes, we could maybe expect at least some kind of hesitation at this zone. And we have this trend line getting very close to the price now. So even if the price makes it here, it will face resistance here. So maybe it could take 2 days for the price to retest here, maybe pull back, stay here a little bit, and then try to move and break it, and to move just before Donald Trump's dollar sell-off. Okay. So, well, again, and because of all those things that I explained and these graphics, okay, this chart, that is why I'm telling you, just skip. If you wanted to open maybe today or tomorrow a trade, just skip it, because now things are really ambiguous. So that is only my opinion. Okay, let me see, because I was reading some hours ago. This is the euro dollar chart, hourly chart. Okay, so we had this breakout to the upside after Donald Trump's words. It just met the 106.70. Let me see if we see something interesting in the 4 hour. Well, actually, in the 4 hour is the same chart is pattern, the falling wedge. Okay, this is falling wedge in the hourly, and this one is falling wedge in the 4 hours. So it's the very same chart is pattern. This is the 4 hours, so you see that we just broke to the upside, but the market could try to pull up to this level to retest this resistance, and that would put the quote just at the price more or less when Donald Trump said that the thing, the dollar was getting too strong for the American interests. So maybe this could open a good opportunity to the downside on euro, because fundamentally I was reading that Le Pen is gradually winning the reign in the polls. So that increases the risks on holding euros, and maybe this could be a good opportunity. Not too long here, maybe too short here. But again, I wouldn't trust anything, any price action or opportunity under today's liquidity. In any case, somebody is willing to short this, having a stop loss above this level would be like nonsense. But of course, having a so close stop loss could be that you have your stop loss triggered and then the market moving down, but you're covering the risks that this kind of movement continue. Okay, so well, this is an opportunity that I was not looking at, but I simply wouldn't feel comfortable maybe opening a trade at this moment. Let's watch the euro, the cable, to see if we find something interesting. Okay, this is so okay, here are some trades that I opened that were more or less let me clean up a little bit the chart, because it has a lot of lines. Okay, here it is. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, here it is. So this is the cable. We have very good data. Well, not good data. Actually, yesterday I believe that UK's data was not that good. But even though the market started moving up, and then we have another news, and the market continued going up. Here is the Donald Trump stuff. So now we're retesting this resistance. So yeah, we're close to the 126. But as you can see here, opening a short trade maybe is not a good idea, because we're very close to the top. So maybe if somebody wants to short to long dollar for some reason, maybe the way to go is to short euro and long dollar, and not playing this at least yet. That is what I believe on cable. So Let me just review quickly something to see if I find good information. Okay. No. Well, I believe, guys and girls, in this occasion, I will call it a webinar already because, again, since we have a very low liquidity, I mean, it's like, just don't try to push any kind of trade, just don't try to push any, try to see opportunities where they aren't, or maybe that opportunities are there, but understanding the structure now of the price action is weak. So just take precautions. If you're going to trade something, maybe just use lower lots, low leverage, etc. Okay. So I believe that for a long time, this is going to be actually my shortest webinar ever. And I really don't expect something important to happen today. So maybe tomorrow is going to be the same thing. And maybe tomorrow we could have some insights of what we can expect on Monday. Maybe we could start figuring out how to play next week. But at least we need to see what happens today. Today is going to be, we're going to have bigger liquidity than tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to check that out tomorrow. I would like to thank everybody for being around, all the guests, Rocas for being around, Caterina for hosting recording, FX Lord Eyes for being around. A long time no see, my friend here. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't know if you listen to that sound. Yeah, that means that my Euro Pound trade is closed at stop loss. So no mysteries. This Euro Pound trade is over. So I am. Let me close this chart because my computer is just about to crash. Okay. No, thanks to UFX Lord Eyes for being here. Happy weekend to you all. Well, tomorrow I will be around, at least to maybe to say hi, maybe to DJ a little bit, maybe if there are no trading opportunities. But in any case, I don't see you tomorrow. Have a good weekend, everybody, and enjoy, of course, also the holidays. And okay, FX Lord Eyes is going camping. That is so good, my friend. That's so nice. So enjoy it and bring us some pictures. And Katerina, you're welcome. No, don't have nothing to be thankful for. Rocas, everybody, thanks. And I expect you tomorrow at the same time, same place. Remember to trade safe, be safe, and okay, Katerina, I would like to come tomorrow because I believe that on Monday we're going to have a gap on the opening. So I want to be tomorrow to see if we can anticipate that. So yeah, I'm broadcasting tomorrow, like always, no problem. So okay, and now remember that I expect you all at the same time, same place tomorrow. Trade safe, be safe. This is Alberto Alvarado, and bye-bye.